What is up, English 10 Honors students? This is Mr. Puckett. What is up, English 10 Honors students? Mr. Puckett here, and we're going to talk today. It is Thursday, December 3rd, and we're going to talk today about writing a destination line for our essay. This is our conclusion. Again, following the pattern that we've been following, writing this and doing what the AP, the College Board, wants with our essay. I talked about on Tuesday about cutting the fluff from our introduction. The same is also true for our conclusion. Our conclusion is going to be 1 to 2 lines, and that is it. We get in, we give all of our information, we give that the spotlight, and then we get out very quickly. We talked a little bit about this a couple weeks ago. We're going to put it into use today. I'm going to review some of it here before we get started. So let's talk about it. Your destination line should be an echo of your thesis. It should follow along with it. It should have the same ideas, but it's going to go a little more in depth. Your destination line is going to tell us what you had to say. It needs to be a profound or deeper idea. Look at this example we have right here. And I believe this one we actually used a couple weeks ago, but it's a good one. Merely a prostitute exile allowed Sonia from, this is, by the way, from Crime and Punishment, Dostoevsky. Exile allowed Sonia to see past societal roles and rely on something other than herself, enriching her life and leading to redemption. That's their thesis, right? That's an example thesis. Now look how they have the same idea here, but they give us more of their own ideas along with it. Exile, capable of destruction, transformed Sonia into a redeemer. Her alienation did not render her incapable in life, but rather built her into a newer, more loving person. Notice, okay, the thesis, they talk about she relies on something other than herself, it enriches her life and leads to her redemption, but it doesn't say how that it enriches her life and leads to her redeeming herself. Here, in their final statement, we see what the point that they got to during their body paragraph. They talk about how exile turns Sonia into a redeemer. It built her into a newer, more loving person. And again, that's stuff that they would have covered in their body paragraph. So now what you are going to do is you're going to take the ideas in your thesis, you're going to add in the more complex ideas that you developed in your body paragraph yesterday and add them in together. Here's another example of someone who did this into a couple sentences. This is going to look a little more conventional as far as conclusions go. Ranging from the depths of reclusiveness to the heights of generosity, Dostoevsky's fractured portrayal of the criminal psyche of Raskolnikov questioned what classifies a person as evil. That's their thesis. Here's their final statement. This is, again, talking about a guy named Raskolnikov, kind of a criminal, kind of a jerk, but also features a bit of a redemption through Sonia, the prostitute, which you'll have to read Crime and Punishment. It's wild. He was a man divided from the beginning, for while he murdered, he gave money, and while he held the rich in contempt, he compassionately held the poor prostitute in his arms. In displaying such dualism, Dostoevsky unflinchingly cracks open his protagonist to delve into the dark corridors of every human heart. By forcing his audience to contemplate what truly qualifies as a crime, what truly qualifies as evil, Dostoevsky's complex portrait of Raskolnikov offers a terrifyingly simple prospect: that no one is truly good. That is profound. You see how they got to, they didn't just break open and analyze the essay and talk about what it means by pointing, right? They got to a deeper truth. And that is what we are trying to do. You may, looking at this, look back at your body paragraph and go, did I say enough? Did I actually say something meaningful that I can point to? And if the answer is no, well, you can go back and change that. That's the beauty of all of this. You can go back and change it. In fact, tomorrow we'll be looking back at our peer edits and our edits suggested by Mr. Puckett and Mrs. Appleby and making changes to our writing. But that doesn't have to stop you now. You can make changes right now, especially if you want to have something more profound to talk about in your conclusion. Go ahead, do it right now, and then come write your conclusion. So this is what your conclusion statement should look like. It can be 1 sentence, it can be 2, or it can be 3, but it should echo your thesis, and it should point to the deeper meanings that you got to in your body paragraph. Again, on an actual AP essay, you'll have many body paragraphs and many deep ideas that you'll have gotten to. Now you only have one or two, and that's okay. So if yours is relatively short, that's fine. I know that you're programmed to think that long paragraphs are always better. Remember, that's for body paragraphs, yes. Have good, meaty body paragraphs. But again, your intro and your conclusion can be quite short, especially for this little baby essay that we are writing right now. When you are finished writing your conclusion statement, then it's time to actually go and evaluate our peers on their body paragraphs, which were posted yesterday. There are a few ways you can get to this. You could go to the groups tab right here and click pass, synthesize. You could also click on your calendar. We'll have a link. I haven't posted my link yet, but there will be a link. Or you could go to discussions right here and click pass, synthesize there as well. Now, this will look a little confusing. I'm a teacher, so I get access to all of your groups, but this is what it will look like when you click on it. You'll only see your group. I went ahead and added this for my groups. Mrs. Appleby, I'm sure, will have added directions that are similar, but if you look at it, it says, we're evaluating our body paragraphs. I went ahead and posted a few questions to keep in mind while you evaluate. So while you read other people's body paragraphs, think about a couple things. One, does it just point to other things that happen? Remember, we're not trying to do that. We want to do more than just, hey, there's one literary device. Hey, there's another. We want to talk about, what does it do? How does it function? What does it mean? Okay, yes, George Orwell worked symbolism in, or he used suspense. Great. But what did that do for the writing? Did the suspense leave you wondering what was going to happen, and then when it led you to Winston's downfall and his complete reversal, leave you completely hopeless? Or did it make you resolute to fight back in your own timeline? I don't know. You tell us in your example. So does it do more than point? If you see someone doing that, it's, again, you're not evaluating, you're not affecting their grade. But you can help them, because I'm not grading them yet, right? We are not grading them. And so this is the time to point out. Don't just be nice, and I appreciate being respectful, but don't just go, great job. You should say, hey, I think you did too much pointing here and not enough analyzing. You can do that. Do it respectfully, again. Do they match up with the thesis from yesterday? Find their thesis. Does this match up? Did they follow it? If not, you might say, hey, you may want to update your thesis, or this doesn't follow your thesis, maybe you want to change the direction. And does it examine the topic through two literary devices? We talked yesterday, you heard Mrs. Appleby talk yesterday about how our body paragraphs can follow the tika format, where the first tika is examining your idea through one literary device and the other through a different literary device. Does it do that? It's a good time to examine. It's a good time to work it in if you didn't do that. Again, also, please try to respond to someone who doesn't have a response already. I understand some of you might have some people in your group who haven't posted theirs, and do what if you only have one you can respond to, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. But if there's an option, I want you to respond to one that doesn't have a response. This way we can get everybody some meaningful comments. Again, tomorrow when you check back, it'll be a good time to look at Mr. Puckett and Mrs. Appleby's meaningful comments and update our writing, so that when Monday comes around and we are submitting our essays, you will have very minimal work to actually get your essay ready to go and ready to turn in for an A+ essay. Anyways, that's it for today. Have a great day, everyone. Don't forget to check with us, email us if you have questions, or hop into our live button, our Google Meet, so that you can ask us questions. If you want Mr. Puckett or Mrs. Appleby to look over what you're writing, that's what we're here for. So don't hesitate. Have a great day, Flashes.